So 22 weeks of my little project since I turned 49. I'm talking to somebody different each week and see what makes them and what they do and why they do the things they do. And this week I'm chatting to somebody that does on the sidelines something like what I do. They want to create some content for things that matter to them, a bit like me. It's one of those things I think every week I try and explain why I'm doing it. And it really is for reasons that are all about me. I want to connect with people, or I want to learn how this process works, or I really, part of me is that curiosity bit. And so I actually am asking questions I really want to ask. And so this week I chat to somebody I've known a long time, but they do a little bit of content creation too. But again, for reasons that were about them. So let's just go. They're also super creative, not like me. I just stick a camera in front of people and ask them questions. I'm interested in the creativity. So this person is creative in their, well, the things they create. Let's go chat. This is Sarah. So I've known you a long time. How did we meet?
We met through work, well,
Um,
my work.
which was, I guess, it had to have been Limber and Williams, right?
Yes. So I started with them in 2015.
And a law firm, local law firm.
Yep.
You weren't a lawyer.
No,
Was that your first job in a law firm?
no. So I'd
Ah,
when I finished school, I did a diploma of hospitality management.
yep,
Loved the kitchen, but obviously not the best hours or pay. So decided to, not go ahead with anything in that sort of field
yep.
and got a job. My first law firm was in the city.
Mhm.
And I was receptionist and then moved into accounts department.
Okay.
So,
And then
yeah,
from there,
it was about 2.5 years
yep,
and then decided I didn't want to do that anymore. So I did a hairdressing apprenticeship and
yep.
I was a hairdresser for 6 years.
I see. I knew there was hairdressing in there somewhere.
Yeah. And then after that, we had a few salon changes and bits and pieces. And basically decided again, hours, pay, not the best. So then, looked to get back into office work, regular hours, that sort of thing. And it was through a mutual friend that knew Michelle and Carolyn that they were looking for someone. So she sort of put my name forward and I went and interviewed and ended up working there.
There you go. How long were
So
you there for?
in total, it was about ooh, no, it would have been 4 years there and
Mhm.
then carried on with Michelle for another two after that.
Yep.
So
And you weren't there with Michelle until the end.
not
There was
quite.
somebody else with your last name.
Yes, my sister. Yes. So I wasn't quite there till the end with that. But my sister happened to be looking for a job. She was leaving a law firm she worked
Yep.
for quite some time. And I was going out. So she came in.
And she was a hairdresser as well.
No, no. She worked in retail and then got into law. So, but she was more the admin bookkeeping side.
And what do you do now?
So I work for a small firm, electrical firm at
Mhm.
Clontarf, but I've been back and forth. This is my second time back there. So I left Michelle and worked, it was closer, Clontarf, closer to home. And then an opportunity came up. I worked for that small firm and then COVID hit.
Yep.
I wasn't entirely sure what COVID would do to small business. I know we were an essential service, but it was just a bit of an unknown. And an opportunity came up for me to actually work at Legal Aid. So I went and worked there for about just under 3 years, again in family law, which I actually really enjoyed, but it's a different culture to the private sector. So I just decided I wanted to jump out of there again. So now I'm back at the small electrical firm at Clontarf.
Yeah, small business seems to find you constantly. Your dad was in small business too.
Yes, definitely, my whole life.
So you do a lot of content creation. I watch a lot of your stuff on
Yes.
TikTok,
Yep.
so people can see what I'm talking about. So Mhm. What drives you to produce these?
So a couple of years ago, about 2 years ago, I'm 38 at the moment, so I'm not far off 40. And I started looking around at people around me and decided I wanted to be one of those 80-year-olds that was healthy and could move and still get around and do things for myself. So I sort of embarked on this little project, for lack of a better word, and started to change the way I think and the way I do things and just lifestyle things and bits and pieces like that. So part of it was to try and be happy with myself. And I started taking photos. I'm interested in fashion and clothes and everything like that. So I did a bit of an online course, and part of it was to sort of document your things that you put together. So that kind of started the photos. And then, yeah, I kind of just progressed from there. I enjoy seeing other people's content, and it sort of gives me inspiration and ideas. So I thought there's all these people that look amazing and real professional. Mine is not like that. I would like it to be one day, but I'm not quite there yet. So yeah, basically that's how it all started. And then, yeah, from there, yeah, just kind of on flowed throughout my life. I tried to make small changes and things like that. Approached a friend and asked her to teach me to run years ago. So yeah, learnt last year. I'm not very fast compared to all of you guys. Never thought that was something that I could say, yeah. But this year I ran jetty to jetty for the first time, and it was
Awesome.
10K. So yeah. So I was pretty proud of that.
I think good on you. I think for a lot of us local to this area, Jetty to Jetty seems to be our debut
Hmm.
event, from being a non-runner to runner.
That's it. Well, I'd walked bridge to Brisbane twice,
Yep.
but yeah, sort of that was my first jetty to jetty was my first run. So
Yeah,
yeah,
awesome.
it's cool.
And so the content you do, why do you still do it?
Because I like to challenge myself. I try not to buy too many new clothes items.
Mhm.
So it's trying to rewear what I already have
Okay.
rather than a lot of people, especially on social media now, it's trying to sell a lot of things and, oh, this is whatever trend at the moment and bits and pieces. So as I said, some people might not find mine terribly exciting or new, but it's kind of just to see someone of my body shape and age out there just doing something normal to try and, yeah.
And tell me about how you create them. What do you film them on?
Yeah, so just literally on my iPhone and on the TikTok app, or sorry, I record them normal video
Yep.
and then upload them to TikTok and edit them within TikTok. And then you can share it to your other platforms from there. So
Right.
that's sort of how I do that.
And so sometimes you narrate over the top.
Occasionally,
Yep.
building up confidence with
And
that.
do you do that in TikTok as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Music, everything through TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
awesome.
yeah.
And as that evolves, that little passion project of
Yep.
yours, what do you think? How do you think it'll evolve?
I
What type of content do you think you'll be doing in a year's time?
I don't know. I really, as I said, I enjoy the fashion. I'm not necessarily out there to promote things or get people to buy things. It's just purely for enjoyment. I've done a couple of snippets of also baking
Yep.
things and bits and pieces. So maybe branch out into other bits and pieces like that. Or, yeah.
And that's another one of those things I was going to ask you about is you do a fair bit of baking.
Yes.
Uh,
Not quite as much as I used to. I don't have as much time now, but yes, I absolutely used to love making cakes.
yeah, like
Um,
fancy, full on.
Oh, I very much enjoyed that. Again, that was pre-COVID, so it was kind of a bit, yeah, I wasn't entirely sure what was going to happen with that. But no, I very much enjoy. I find it quite relaxing. So
And
yeah,
you've got yourself a little bit of, not just a normal house block, a little bit of land.
correct. Yes. So this one, it's 3,000 square meters,
Mhm.
and it's just out toward Woodford. So yeah, really
And
nice to be back onto a lake. Very lucky.
how long have you been there for?
3 years.
Got any projects going on there? Okay.
Just gardening. It's a
Right.
lot to take. My husband and I both work full time, so
Mhm.
it's a lot to take care of, a little out of the way to get home, but we really enjoy it. When you're driving out through Wemuran and just looking at the scenery, you can very much feel your body relax and decompress. So
Yeah.
we enjoy it out there. So Yeah.
Bit of a move from, you were a Kalinga before that?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then,
And before that, we were in a unit at Clayfield, so quite close to the city, which was fun. It's definitely our lifestyle and we very much enjoyed it.
yep.
But yeah, we kind of just wanted to move out a little further, have a bit more space. We got our first dog at the first house and then we got a second dog at this property. So yeah.
And if you were to move again, do you think you'd go bigger again, or do you think you'd start coming back?
Probably start coming back if we're still working.
Yeah.
If we were retired and had the time to put into the garden and the land, absolutely.
Yep.
But yeah, we just at the moment it just gets a bit too.
Awesome. Thank you very much for chatting with me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And Tom,
He's now working at a mechanic at Albion.
was Albion not where he was before?
It was originally.
Right.
He then worked at North Lakes for
Yep.
quite a while.
Yeah, I do recall that.
Yeah. And then he's now gone back to,
The same place at Albion.
yeah.
It's a trait you both have.
We yeah.